Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Scoundrel Edition. Now, when we left off, we had just paid a visit to Nar Shaddaa, and we are now back on our ship because we want to speak to Risha, and then we may speak to Bodar as well before heading on to Port Nowhere.
Seems like I've been doing all the talking lately. Makes me suspicious. The biggest drawback of the criminal lifestyle is you don't meet a lot of decent men. Most are long on charm, short on substance. What's underneath that charming exterior, Captain? Or is that all you've got?
Maybe I just didn't want to bore you with personal details. You want to know more about me? Ask away.
You're a hard man to figure out. Sometimes you play the hero. Sometimes not.
Predictability gets you killed. I like to keep the opposition guessing.
Is that how you see me? The opposition? I thought we were partners. I won't lie. I enjoy spending time with you, but I'm not like other girls. The easy lines are wasted on me. If that doesn't scare you off, maybe this will actually go somewhere. I guess we'll see.
I see. Well, I kind of... do I want to speak again? Oh, no. We're going to have to speak to Bodar, and then we'll speak to Risha and Akavi another time, but... yes, it would be really nice to find out what's going on there. It's just really, really cool because it's kind of like a battle of wills, but it's also like, oh, I kind of like you and you kind of like me, so let's do stuff. But no, it's like, there's always a little bit of conversation, and it's all very sharp and quick-witted.
Why is that? How did you end up with Druga? Any Trandoshan who comes after your people gets the business end of my blaster. Definitely. No question about it.
Oh, that's really nice, isn't it? I didn't know that Wookiees and Trandoshans had like a huge blood feud against each other, and speaking of blood feud, that is the name of our next mission. So we're going to head on to Port Nowhere. I don't know whether there's going to be a holoterminal call, so we're going to just travel there and then see if there's any kind of call, but if there isn't, then obviously I'm going to be... Nope, okay, I'm going to be boarding and speaking to Damus once again. Alright, so we're on Port Nowhere once again with Gus Tuno, because he seems to have a pretty decent, shall we say, sense for trouble, so we're gonna see if Damus has anything for us here.
Welcome back, Captain. Senator Dodana's already called to rave about how you just saved her life, meaning the whole Republic's backing you when you finally take down Rogan. Not bad for somebody from the wrong side of the hyperlane.
When did you two decide that I want to start hunting down the most brutal gangster in the entire galaxy?
Unless you like being ambushed in every spaceport, I don't think the Butcher's given you much choice. You're definitely off to a good start. He's lost a lot of influence since you cut him off from the Hutts. Let me get the Senator on the link. She's going to want to hear what I found.
What is it? And talk quickly. I got pulled out of a vote for this.
Creatures Rogan sent at you seem to be cybernetically modified versions of native Vossian wildlife.
Voss?
As far as I know, no native animal has ever been legally exported off Voss.
It's time to track down who's been playing zookeeper for Rogan.
Voss is a strange place, newly discovered, very isolationist. I'll pull some strings and get you a landing permit, but it'll take a while.
We shouldn't wait. Rogan's finally vulnerable, and the captain's gained quite a reputation recently. If anyone's going to conquer his criminal empire, Captain, this is the time, and you're the man with the crown.
I wouldn't turn down the chance to rule the galactic underworld with an iron fist.
Unfortunately, the only one who knew all of Rogan's secrets was his mentor, Ivory. And he disappeared years ago.
That's not entirely true. Rogan's predecessor was arrested by the Republic. To my knowledge, he's still incarcerated in a top-secret facility on BELSAVIS. This is highly restricted knowledge. Even within the Senate, not everyone knows of BELSAVIS. You must not repeat any part of this.
If this Ivory's been locked up long enough, we should be able to buy his cooperation with a few rolls of spice and some shaving cream.
It may take months to get the permits for Voss. BELSAVIS will be easier.
Ivory and Rogan were like father and son. If you can find him, you'll know Rogan's hideouts, stashes, things we'd never find ourselves.
This is a man who used to sell children to the Hutts for gladiatorial games. The Republic will insist on tight restrictions for dealing with him. But it's worth it. If you're going to war with Rogan, BELSAVIS will be your first battleground. I'll get the permits in order.
Rogan has no idea who's coming after him.
No, and I'm pretty happy to keep it that way, actually. Yeah, pretty happy to keep it that way. So, yes, BELSAVIS. That's basically all I can say. Alright, so before we go to my favorite planet, we are going to just speak to Risha once more, and we're going to speak to Gus, I think, and then we will travel to BELSAVIS. Most likely a holoterminal call awaits us there as well.
If I'm going to take over Dubrillion, I can't keep looking for allies in the same old places. The scum of the galaxy isn't as useful when you're stealing a throne. I need a better class of accomplices.
You can't steal anything big without some corrupt officials on your payroll.
There are some interesting rumors out of Dubrillion. Turns out the aristocracy is unhappy with the king. Some nobles are secretly rebelling.
Hating the king is one thing. Putting you on the throne is something else.
The point is, the planet's politics are ripe for change. All I have to do is personify that. Dubrillion is turning into another Alderaan. A new queen could prevent that, assuming she had the aristocracy's support. But that means taking this game to a new level. You up for that?
I'm not leaving you until you're sitting pretty on that throne. And not even then.
I'll have to find you a political appointment. Maybe something in sanitation? I've put out feelers to some key Dubrillion nobles. When one of them bites, be ready to pounce. In the meantime, we have plenty of other business to keep us occupied.
Yes, we surely do, Risha. We surely do. So, I'm going to speak to Gus because this is his second or third? I don't even know. Second or third conversation ever, so I thought, yeah, I think it's quite important we speak to him.
I guess you've been wondering how someone like me ever ended up with the Jedi, huh?
You don't really seem like the Jedi type.
They thought that too. I was always kind of the odd one out in my family, and believe me, it was not a small family. When they kicked me out, I went to Nar Shaddaa and met a Jedi who said all the weird stuff that happens to me is a connection to the Force.
That must have been amazing.
At first, I was imagining myself winning lightsaber duels, getting revenge on all the kids who laughed at me. But it turns out revenge isn't part of the Jedi lifestyle. You've never known real rage until you've been lectured on controlling your emotions by a 4-year-old in a robe.
You said you were kicked out.
I maybe overstated that. They don't really throw people out, you know. Call of the dark side and all that. But it was clear I'd never make the cut. Anything I could do with the Force was basically random. Never even figured out how to work my dead master's lightsaber.
I'm sure that they would probably teach him. I mean, I think he probably just ran away because he was a bit scared about failure or something along those lines, and I think he probably would have become quite a powerful Jedi, but, well, that's his choice. That is his choice. I think that maybe he will go back at some point, or maybe they'll want him back or something, I don't know. But what I do know is that a holoterminal call is coming up, and I can assume it's probably going to be Senator Dodonna.
Captain, I hope you took precautions not to be followed. I must remind you the very existence of our prison on BELSAVIS is top secret. Before you go further, you must swear to reveal nothing.
It's not like anyone listens to me anyway.
I'm serious. Our security is already compromised by the Empire. We can't risk word getting to the underworld. A few days ago, our prison here was breached. An Imperial airstrike, apparently coordinated with a massive prison break within. The planet is in chaos. Shock troops are arriving daily to contain it.
I'm just here to hunt down some old crime boss, right?
Ivory is far from some crime boss. I can only authorize you to offer him certain deals. We cannot mitigate Ivory's sentence. If he cooperates, he can have 3 hours a day in the exercise yards. No company, no sharp objects. A bath once a week, private except for guard droids. If his information leads to Rogan the Butcher's arrest, he gets a single monitored holocall of his choosing.
I wasn't planning on offering gifts.
Rogan the Butcher was Ivory's protege. If Ivory doesn't give him up, you have permission to be coercive. I've made arrangements with Marshal Cavarat at the Republic base. She'll be able to help you with anything you need.
Well, this guy sounds like a really harsh individual, and I can only say that if he taught Rogan, or in general was kind of a mentor to him, then he's probably going to be pretty hard to convince or coerce in any way, shape, or form. Alright, so we've arrived on BELSAVIS, and yeah, we're going to see whether it's just as agonizing as it always has been with every other class, but for now, let's just head in and speak to Marshal Cavarat, and I'm gonna look forward to see what she has to say.
You're wasting my time. We're in a crisis. There are over 10,000 prisoners running loose. Most of the wardens are dead. Senator Dodonna is seriously overstepping herself if she thinks I'm gonna drop that to help you offer some madman an extra bedtime story.
I think we got off on the wrong foot. Marshal Cavarat, I presume?
You blasted well know who I am, so shut off the charm. Here's what you need. Prisoner number 91403, cell block 923A. This code will get you in a cell. Beyond that, I'm not interested.
Look, I'm not here to make things difficult.
Yeah, I get it. But when someone with your pool comes down, I'd rather see you working to make things right. The cells you're looking for were damaged in the strike. We're spread too thin to retake everything, so we threw that lot to the mob. Some prison gang took over, shut down all access.
I'm not afraid of a bunch of half-starved inmates.
This isn't county jail, Captain. Look, you want to figure out which gang claims what and how hard they'll fight you for it? You gotta ask someone on the inside, same as us. Talk to Amikab. He's our best snitch. We've got him set up in the minimum security yard. Now I've got real work to do.
What? I have real work to do as well. Thank you very much. I have to, well, I kind of speak to, yeah, I have to speak to someone, and then I have to speak to someone after that, and yeah, it's pretty harsh. Alright, so we're outside the minimum security section, and we're gonna speak to Amikab. Oh, this is his cell, actually. Looks pretty reasonable.
I need to find a way into cell block 923A.
Chochinwampa la Haguajikuska, Hompasa Topiska. Ajipakulia Grancha. Chipokma Utangisa, Choboba if Kaftu and Java.
Tell me what you know, and I'll pay what it's worth.
Nadavasi. Piska Makoche Wota. Noya Awat. Tubatulia Musta. Mo gran ritempo dumuki tonka.
What kind of surprises can I expect if we go head-to-head?
Wafuma do bota donwi wanki wakoba yakaloka. Kava tuta omiska kava des wameta. Nira disa slemo crispa to kanki kong kikopa.
Thanks for the assist.
Tubatulia musta. Mo gran ritempo dumuki tonka. Jeska koli raka kanchanga. Bomba konchinka. Nikt ni ciała uno kuto wermo.
Well, there we go, that was easy enough, and we apparently now have to deal with the Scourge. The Scourge is a very cool gang name, isn't it? Okay, so we have to disable first, second, and third shields, but for now, I will be ending this episode off here. So I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.